and I made the film Ice Cream for Breakfast about a year and a half ago, I guess, at this point. And it's about a group of kids who have what seems like an innocent conversation, but then it turns a little violent, a little questionable.
What's heaven like?
I think you could see everyone, but they can't see you.
How do you know?
Well, I don't see any ghosts in the sky, so it has to be true.
I can eat ice cream over your head and you can't see me? Yeah, but would they see the ice cream?
I don't think so.
You're it.
I started drawing when I was 2, and I took various art classes at museums like the Danforth Museum, live drawing, all of these things when I was preteen, teenager, and that moved me into pretty much 4 hours of art classes in school. Yeah, and I actually planned to go to school for art initially, and then I got my, reports back from your school, and all these teachers had written not about how much I love to draw and do art, but how much I love to write. And it was like a duh moment, because I have, so much writing of mine saved from over the years. When I was 8, when I was younger, I would play games with my friends and I would go home and type it up on the computer. I mean, I've just loved writing. So I ended up going into a film major when I went into school at Mass Art, because I thought it combines art and writing. That was like the closest I was gonna get. So it really helped me. I learned, script writing, and that was really how I developed Ice Cream for Breakfast. It was an idea I had since I was a child, when actually I had this conversation as a child, the one in the film. And I thought, it was just an innocent conversation when I was younger at the time. Oh, you can do whatever you want in heaven. Oh, great. And I thought, well, I want to use this for something, but I want it to be weird. Where can it go from here? I don't want it to be some innocent, cute, I want it to be like, whoa. Yeah. Actually, I held a casting call. I went on newenglandfilm.com when I was a student at Mass Art, and it was when you're a film student, you do a lot of stuff with yourself and your friends, and it was suggested, we see your talent, use actors, use people, do a casting call, people who want to show you what they can do. So that's how I found these kids, actually. They were very impressive. Well, this is the thing. I submitted it to several film festivals. It was a nominee for the Adobe Design Achievement Awards. I thought, wow, this can really go somewhere. I emailed, I don't remember the name, but it was a gun violence prevention group, actually in Boston. And I didn't hear back, but the more I show this film, the more feedback I get. I really do want to do something with this as far as an educational message, and I do think children should see this, because this was a conversation I actually had, and I portrayed a child who had this conversation take it a step further. So, you don't know what kids will do. They're not taught. So you need to teach them, so I think. I want to leave an impression on pretty much everyone who watches this, because like I said, real conversation, kind of innocent. I made it something pretty intense, memorable, that has a message that I do want to send. I mean, gun violence is a problem, especially when you're not taught. You're not taught safety. That's the problem, is that you just need to know what to do, what not to do, safety precautions, children and guns. I mean, that is an issue. I would probably say networking. Networking is like the #1 thing to do if you want to get your work out there, and yeah. if you want to get your work out there, network. That's the #1 thing to do. I mean, we're at a networking event right now. And I met you, I met like 10 other people before we even saw the films. And I went online. I mean, these are things you don't necessarily learn in school. You go online, you join groups, you just type in Google, like, social networking filmmakers, filmmaker event, you know, things like that. Casting calls, you could even go to a casting call and maybe even ask if you can watch. Why not, you know? I mean, actually a friend of mine who has her own, let's see. So I found out about the Boston Indie Mafia because a friend of mine who has her own company, she does a lot of behind the scenes stuff and events, it's called Attention Deficit. And it's kind of funny. She invited me to this event, and I happened to see on the Facebook page there was submit your film. So I did, and then I looked into Boston Indie Mafia, and I was like, oh wow, they're a whole thing, and so that's why, yeah, I became part of it.
You